Hello everybody and welcome back. I'm Dash Brandon. We're in Deep Rock Galactic today and we are looking at the Scout. I recently promoted the Scout. I've been spending a lot of time on him and I wanted to talk about all of the different weapons and the builds that I like to go with. For starters, the most important perks that I always take are Heightened Senses, Iron Will, Vampire, and Berserker. Vampire, Berserker, and Iron Will basically keep you alive a lot of the time and has 4 and has 5. And I'm always really bad at looking up, so that's why I need Heightened Senses to tell me about the cave leeches. And then once you promote, I pick up Field Medic so that I can res people a little bit faster because sometimes you need that clutch res to save the day, save the whole mission. So we'll be going through the flare gun and grappling gun and the grenade and the armor first, and then we'll go through the 4 different weapons, and then finally we'll talk about the loadout that I most commonly choose because now we have 3 different loadouts that we can go with. So the flare gun, I usually go with thicker core and magnesium core on the top and bottom, and I go with high capacity magazine. This is because I feel like usually I'm not running out of ammo, so I don't go with the expanded ammo bags. And then the auto reload could be handy, but I feel like 30 seconds of increased uptime on this is pretty good and hard to pass up. And then the high capacity magazine just makes it so I have to reload a little bit less often. For the grappling gun, I always go for the increased range on the first 2. The recharging is actually, it lets you swing a lot more, but we pick that up down here at the very bottom where we get a faster cooldown. For the third one, really, I don't care about flying faster, so I would rather the hook shoot out faster because usually I'm using the hook to get away from enemies. I typically go with the cryo grenade. Pheromones are really good in the higher difficulties, and the slow grenade is also very common. The Scout actually has a lot of really good options for grenades, and you can't really go wrong with any of them. For the armor, shield regenerating faster is good when you're kiting. More health is always good because that vampire is going to let you get pretty healthy as long as you can be killing stuff with your melee. This one we don't have to talk about because it's the only option. Shockwave is pretty good for killing little tiny enemies around you as your shield breaks. By the way, this is the current transmog, or not transmog, this is the current cosmetics I'm using for my dwarf, mainly because it's January, so I feel like it's still okay to be using Christmas stuff. And the last one was, I want to say it was October because we had Halloween stuff on. Alright, into the weapons. The assault rifle. So the deep core GK2 assault rifle. I do have an overclock for it that I usually use, so we're going to go ahead and throw that on. It's a clean overclock, so it gives us less recoil, expanded magazine by 5. A normal expanded magazine is 10. So do be aware of that. We went with, for the first tier, we went with overclock so it shoots faster. The accuracy on your first shot is basically a useless talent because it's only on the first shot. Next we went with expanded ammo bags. I've noticed in the higher difficulties has 4 and has 5 that I have many more ammo problems. So a lot of my weapons I choose at least 1 expanded ammo bag over the damage. In the next tier we do take the damage though because it's better in my opinion than a bigger magazine. And the floating barrel does help with your accuracy and your recoil, but you should probably be firing in bursts more than just holding down the trigger on this gun. Next we went with hollow point so that we do more damage to their weak points, and then we have battle frenzy to move faster for a short time after killing the enemy. At first I went with these two. I went with hardened rounds to break armor, but the issue with the breaking armor is you're usually doing that for Praetorians, and it's just as easy to get around them with a scout, so you can just shoot them in their weak point and do more damage. I also went with killing an enemy increases accuracy at one point, and that's just, it's okay, but I'd rather be able to move faster. Scouts are more about moving faster and getting around more than anything. Being able to outflank your enemies. Next we have the jury-rigged boomstick. I have no overclocks for this. I think I actually just picked one up last night. I need to go check after the video is done and see if I can make it. I'm real broke when it comes to the Pearl and Jadis and even credits. I'm kind of broke. I only have 13k. Anyways, let's get into it. Expanded ammo bags, because I mean, if we were to do the math on expanded ammo bags, let's look at it this way. You get 3 damage over the course of your 24 rounds. So you're getting 72 damage there. But if you take your expanded ammo bags, where you get 8 ammo, and multiply that by 12, technically you're getting more damage out of your weapon, if you look at the math in that type of a way. If you look at it in a different type of a way, where it's going to take 2 shots to kill something with expanded ammo versus 1 shot with double-sized buckshot, then that's a whole different argument that you could make. Next we have quickfire ejector, which means that we can reload a lot faster. That lowers our reload by 0.7 seconds, which is very noticeable. The other option is to unload both barrels in quick succession in front of you, and it raises your rate of fire. It's not terrible. You do burn through more ammo though, so if you take that, you're going to want to take double expanded ammo bags, more than likely. High capacity shells gives you more pellets, so more spread and more damage capabilities, and that's going to stack up nicely with our blow through rounds, so that we can fire straight through several enemies at once. So all those extra pellets are going to go through several enemies at once. Once again, I used to use this and I was like, I can just outflank them and we don't need to worry as much about the armor shredding. The armor shredding is fun. It's nice to see a naked Praetorian. Then we have auto reload. Auto reload will reload the weapon automatically after it's been holstered for 5 seconds. Most of these are good. Chance to scare enemies isn't bad. Some of the damage becoming fire damage can be good if you're with a driller. You can set things on fire together faster than you could otherwise. Next, we're going to look at the M1000 Classic. As you can see, I'm just changing loadouts here. So these are basically your base weapons here. Oh, I did not know that you could do that. That's cool. So this loadout, our A is your basic weapons, B is your next weapon licenses you get, and then C is what I use most days on most missions. So back to the M1000 Classic. Expanded ammo bags. Once again, the math works out so that it's basically better. A lot better than just grabbing extra rounds. Also, like I said, throughout the game, I've noticed that if you don't pick up at least 1 expanded ammo for your weapons, you're usually going to have problems, because if you're not using it, your teammates probably are, so you might be needing resupplies more often than they do. Next we have faster charging coils. Focus faster when holding down the trigger. And I mean, I don't hip shot much from this weapon, and it's just so much more powerful when you're focusing that that's a no-brainer. For me, usually damage is going to outweigh an extended clip, and it does here. The extended clip isn't bad, but we're getting 25% more damage on our focus shots, and it's just going to stack our focus shots together. We have another hollow point here, so if you hit weak spots, do get familiar with where the weak spots are on certain enemies. They're not always obvious. Sometimes it's a headshot, sometimes it's their glowy butts, and you never really know. Blow through isn't bad for this either. You could do focus shots through hordes of enemies that penetrate them, so that's pretty good too. If you don't want to go for the fleshy bits. And then we have Killing Machine. Excuse me. Killing Machine lets you do a lightning fast reload after killing something. Precision trigger, killing your target with a focused shot to the weak spot will send nearby enemies fleeing in terror. There's too many factors involved in that one to be useful, in my opinion. Focused shots stagger the target is good. That can help you a lot in solo if you're trying to get around bigger enemies and Bosco's not flanking. So, I'd say that the hitting where it hurts is more of a solo talent, but Killing Machine is an all-the-time talent. And lastly, we have the Zukov Knuck 17. Alright, here is actually a spot where I did not end up going with expanded ammo bags. And part of the reason is that this thing has 600 ammo, but you crank through the ammo. We have 60 at a time, so we're only going to be able to reload and empty this thing 10 times, which is, I mean, I guess it's fine. If we were to take the ammo over it, I mean, the math works out better in our favor. We get 75 rounds. We also have an overclock here, faster reload, faster rate of fire. So this thing empties out incredibly quickly. They're basically twin SMGs that you use. They're for a medium to close range. And we're going to say expanded ammo bags here instead of damage. Damage talents tend to stack up though, so I mean you could go either way. Here we have expanded magazine. The quickfire is good. You crank out the rounds when you have the quickfire going. Oh wait, that's not that. Oh, that's the supercharge. This is for reload, sorry. We don't need to worry too much about reload on this weapon. I don't think. Is this the right build? Now I'm confused. Nope. It's not. This is the right build. My apologies. So we go expanded ammo bags into reload, into base accuracy increase, because this weapon can be all over the place if you don't have the accuracy on. Shape projectiles to overpenetrate. That makes this weapon deal a lot of damage to hordes that are chasing you. And then temporary movement speed after emptying your entire clip, because it will help you kite those hordes a lot faster while you reload. My apologies on that last one. I apparently haven't fixed these two. There we go. It's fixed. I did it. Alright, well that's basically our entire overview of the Scout and the weapons and the builds. We're now on C, obviously, and this is what I prefer. The M1000 is a great weapon. It was recently nerfed though, and it's just not as powerful as it used to be. For me, the Deep Core GK2 has enough range that I can do close, medium, and moderately long range enemies with it. And then the knuck 17 is good for close to medium. So we cover everything pretty much. But I mean, the M1000 is still a fun weapon. It's definitely fun to get those big damaging hits. Anyways, I'm Dash Brandon. There was obviously no face cam today. I'll see you guys next time. Oh wait, we have to do a dance at the end. Hopefully we get a good one.
Dance monkey.
Ah, there we go. That's one of my favorite ones. And then we got the Gangnam style. /cowboy. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.